Hello, welcome into my studio. I'm so happy you guys are here. I am doing a product review on the Wildflowers Brighter Day Pigment set, and let's look inside. Look at that. It's so beautiful, you guys. I cannot wait to share some of the fun things that I have done with this palette. So I'm going to share how I like to swatch some of my watercolors and why I think this might be a great palette for you if you love to paint in florals. And I also, at the end, will give you a code for you to get your own at 10% off. So stick with me. This Wildflower palette comes with a watercolor brush, a watercolor brush pen, so you can add water to it and have water wherever you go. And it comes with this, with 18 curated colors, perfect for florals, and the swatch card, all for $89.99. It is such a beautiful palette, and the colors are very buttery, easy to wake up and use. And I wanted to just kind of show my work because I did do a color swatch for you guys, because I personally think that color swatching is a big deal. And I have this printout on my blog that you can go and look and print it off. It'll just have color swatching with Brighter Day Pigments. It will have the 18 slots up here and the 18 slots down here, and then you just do your color swatching. So each block will tell you what color. This is deep red. This would be Lumi pink, but down here, then if you go to the second one, Lumi pink and deep red. What does that look like together? What does Ercolano orange with deep red looks like? And so on and so forth. And you get this wide variety of beautiful colors that just makes you like so excited to paint, I think. And so this is one way I like to swatch. It's not my only way, but as you can tell, some of the things that I want to point out to you is these blues right in here, the ultramarine and studio blue. When you mix them together, you get some beautiful blues. Maybe not for florals, but for ocean, and it's just gorgeous. But then you come over here and you're mixing your violet and cobalt violets together with your pink micas, and you get some beautiful, beautiful colors right in here. I also love right up in here with the bright oranges and pinks. You get some beautiful like daylily colors and rose colors and just all the bright pinks. You know, I just saw some Impatience today that I swear were this Lumi pink color. It's absolutely stunning. And so this is a perfect flower watercolor palette. If you are not new, or if you are new to watercolor and you're new to painting florals, this palette has all the ranges that you need. I also love, I should just block out some colors, but I love these greens with some reds. That's very natural. So that's really cool that you can mix a little bit of your Lumi green or your Vert Clair green with your deep red and get a beautiful natural looking green. Or you can come down here a little bit more and get some of your greens with the blues. Your ultramarine and your studio blue is so pretty. Or maybe you want some shimmer. So you can come down here. I don't know if you can see the shimmer part. Yeah, you can kind of. So lots of ways to use this palette. There's not just, it's very versatile in my opinion, with lots of these bright colors that can make more of the muted browns and shadow colors that you would want in a floral. So well done, Brighter Day Pigments. Okay, so I did decide to swatch a couple colors. I'm no joke, this is as bright as the Lumi colors are. So I decided to do the Lumi pink, the Lumi yellow, and the Lumi orange, and I mixed them all together in different ways. And these are all the ways that these are all the ranges of those three colors, and I just think it's amazing. I did then the same thing with green, and then I added the violet cobalt because I think that that's pretty bright too. and I got this beautiful range. So you could very much use this like for neon colors on white paper. I have not tried this on black paper. And right up here is where I use what I would call my split primary. So I did all the cool yellow. There was a yellow studio, or a brilliant yellow right here, deep red, and ultramarine. Those three colors are like a triad. And so then what I did is I just mixed the blue with the yellow, and I got this blue with the red, and I got this purple. And so on and so forth. And so I got all the ranges right up here just with those three colors, which I love to do. I love playing with triads. So, right, and then I also have a printable on my website right here that is basically this, but in a more conducive way. So you could go ahead and download this. I just printed it on watercolor paper. You don't have to. You could probably cut out the templates. That's what I did here. I cut out this square right here, and then I just traced it, and then I just made the lines. And I did the same thing here. I cut out the template, and then I just made lines. So either way works. My printer, I enjoy using my printer and printing off things on my watercolor, so I do that often. Okay, and then for swatching, I just use a number 8. This is Zim Gold Synthetic Round. Nothing too fancy, but I do love this brush for swatching. And then a flat brush, and this is also a size 8 rocket shader, but I'm just using it for the flat tip. Okay. And then of course I have my water that I will use. Clear, clean, perfect water. Alright, so because I use ultramarine, I really love Studio Blue. And so I'm going to get some of my Studio Blue activated. And I'm going to do the same thing. I might as well just put my Studio Blue right in here. Now this is a very thin, it's very diluted with lots of water. So I'm going to get some more pigment on here. There we go. Okay. And I'll just let it kind of sit there. Let's try some Lumi Pink at the top, because I do want to see what the Lumi Pink does. But because we don't have a luminescent blue, I'm going to go ahead and go with luminescent yellow. So you can kind of see what I did here. But instead of using orange, I'm using blue. And I think this will work out well. So this is a very high key, meaning very bright color. And now I can go in and place. So what I'm going to do, what I like to do, is I like to put a little bit of watercolor right here, and then I'm going to clean my brush off, dab it, get my Lumi Yellow, and I'm going to go right in with the Lumi Yellow. Woo! And I'm going to get this orangey, pinky yellow look, just like that. Okay, and now, whoops, I'm going to go in with the Lumi Yellow again. But this time I'm going to add that blue into it, and I probably should have. Oh well. Anyways, okay. Here is my Studio Blue that I'm putting in with my yellow. Ooh, I'm loving that green. That is gorgeous. All right, and now I'm going to go with blue and pink right up here. So here's my pink. And here's my blue. And we're gonna see what happens when it mingles. Ooh, I like that. That's a beautiful purple. All right, so same thing here, but this was more yellow than pink, so I'm gonna add more pink to this section. And then I'm just gonna add yellow right in here and see what happens. And it's gonna mix and mingle and do its thing. So it's really a fun process. So now this is all blue on this side. So we're gonna do, we did a pretty much half and half on that one. So let's do a little bit more blue on this one, or maybe a little bit more yellow. We'll see. We'll go a little bit further into the yellow. And then we got blue on this side. Oh, that's gonna look beautiful. Look at that, that's so pretty. And I see a little bit of this blue seeping into the orange, which is not necessarily my favorite. But it's cool that I can make that color. Anyways, okay, moving on. And then this is gonna be pink and blue again. I need a little bit of pink right here. And then a little bit of that blue. That will just mix and mingle on the pink. There we go. And then I have another beautiful way of mixing my colors, so I know what 3 colors will look like. Yeah. This Wildflower palette comes with a watercolor brush, a watercolor brush pen, so you can add water to it and have water wherever you go. And it comes with this, with 18 curated colors, perfect for florals, and the swatch card, all for $89.99. What I love about this palette is the range that comes with the colors. There are so many variables on how you can mix these colors to get the perfect floral shade. It is just phenomenal. Like, Nancy did such a great job with this curation. I also love that it's only 18. Like, had she gone and done like maybe 24, I felt like that would be like overkill. Like, you really only need these colors to make any and all florals happen, which is super amazing. And I love that they're handmade by Nancy Olson. She does an amazing job. I love all the quality that she puts into her pigments. They are vibrant. They act like they should be like in a movie. Like, they are diva pigments. I just cannot get enough of them. I love painting with them. And I love being able to see the different colors that come from swatching. And when we know our colors, we can get better results, right? So anyways, for $89.99, it's a great steal. And if you want this palette for yourself, for on the go, or just in your watercolor practice, I think you could spend like hours painting with this and still not have a dent in the pigments. Use code Lisa Christensen, LISACHRISTEN, for 10% off, and put that in the checkout coupon area, code area, and you will get the 10% off. So then this really is well worth it. It's more like $81 instead of $89.99. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and enjoy painting. In addition to this beautiful wildflower set from Brighter Day Pigments is the Wildflower Watercolor Painting Book. This book has 20 different paintings, drawings on watercolor paper that you can paint. And let me tell you, they are so fun. I started one just to calm myself down one night. I just needed some time to paint, and I didn't want to start drawing. I just wanted to paint, and this is what I started with. It's not done yet. I'm still working on it, but it is so much fun to just get my colors out and just paint. So much fun. And the colors are inspired by the West, the florals in the West, and they're on watercolor paper, so it's on thick watercolor paper that you can paint on. So like this is a Sarago cactus, there's an evening primrose, here's a robin with a prickly pear cactus. One of my favorites that I cannot wait is the sunflower one. It's just such a darling book to just bring and watercolor. Anything that, yep. There's also practice pages, which I think are really helpful. And I practiced a little bit on these practice pages. I did some leaves and some petals, but let me share with you how I practice. So what I like to do is so it says to load your brush with color, press and pull stroke, which is a really fun way of painting petals. And so I'm going to use this really bright orange. This Lumi orange got into the other orange, which is totally fine. But I have been on like this daylily thing for a little while. So I'm pressing my brush down and then I'm lifting up. And then I'm pressing down my brush and then I'm lifting up. And that gets me a perfect petal. I will do that one more time so you guys can see it closer. So I'll go right here. So I'm going to press down, and I'm pressing down pretty much the whole way, and then I'm going to pull up. But I need a little bit more pigment for that. Okay, so I'm going to press down, and then I'm pulling up. And I'm going to press down, and then I'm going to pull up. Just like that, and it's that simple. And while the petal is wet, usually what I can do is I can kind of move the pigment around a little bit. I don't want to do it a lot. I just want a little bit. Sometimes florals, the petals can be really delicate, and if you lift up a little bit, that's fun. And then I also like to add some yellow, or maybe it's yellow, maybe it's red, I don't know. But that just kind of gives it more of a floral-y-ish look, and I'll even take away some afterwards. But that is how I like to do my petals. And I'll do a green one too. I'll do a green leaf. I will use Vert Clair from the Wildflower one, and I'm going to go press down, and then I'm lifting up. I'm pressing down, and then I'm lifting up. Just like that. And sometimes I will go back in and just paint, but for the most part I lift down and then I go back up, lift down and then go back up. And most of the time I don't have those little lines to help me, so I just kind of know that I will make lots and lots of little brush marks on my, I'll use my practice sheet from before, but what I'll do is I'll fill up, I don't know, a good chunk of like a 5x7 or a 4x6, and I'll just practice this over and over and over again until I get like a perfect, until I feel like I'm really good at it. And I have practiced over and over again, so I know how to make a perfect leaf or petal. And I also know how to make like a leaf that might be blowing in the wind or whatever, just by practicing so much. So I always say perfect practice makes perfect, and that is very true. And if you're still like, so that's like if it's blowing away, but maybe I just want a nice beautiful little petal. There we go. And it's just the pressure and then up, and my brush was out of water. So pressure, and then I go up, and then pressure, and then I just go up, and I get this perfect petal. All right, so lots of practice, lots of fun ways to practice, but I really do, I would encourage you getting this Wildflower book. if you like to just sit down and paint something with a perfect watercolor palette. So anyways, you can get this 10% off right now by using code Lisa Christensen. That's all one word. I'll have it at the bottom of the screen, but it's LISACHRISTENSEN, and the link is below. And enjoy painting. Nancy from Brighter Day Pigments made all of these line drawings just for you guys, and I gotta say it is fantastic to use. So I hope this brings you lots of joy like it did me, and thank you so much for watching. Talk to you soon.